Hey, I'm Kwes, and this is my review of Season 3 of Orange is the New Black. Now, this season, I have to say, has been the most divisive I've seen amongst fans. Most people are saying that they don't like it. Personally, it wasn't my favorite, but it had a lot of characterizations that I was really fond of. A lot of backstory was put into a lot of characters that I didn't even know I wanted to see where they came from. And I think this season has proved definitively that even the most boring, uninspired, no-name characters are more interesting than Piper. God, she's boring. It's just, they've tried to do a whole thing where, Piper is I guess, not a drug kingpin or queenpin, if that's a term, where she's this, I guess, a boss in the prison, and it's they're just doing everything they can to make her seem relevant and interesting. And in a show where she is the lead character and played by the lead actress, I don't care. I always want to just skip past Piper's stuff because it's okay, you're smuggling worn panties out of the prison, and that's cool and all, but it's it doesn't deserve this much screen time. It really doesn't. Can we just move on? Let's go back to Chang. She's interesting.
I find that the one that came from Chicago, weird voice. I think she's interesting.
She's interesting too, yeah. But she's what's her name?
Don't know.
See? No name character, more interesting than Piper. When this season started, I was really curious to know how they were going to up the ante. Because, season 1, you started with, the whole orientation was you were experiencing prison through the eyes of, Piper and I guess to a degree Larry from the outside and Daya as well. All from different perspectives within of the prison and that life. And it was interesting in that aspect, whereas in season 2 they had an actual big bad. They had the biggest, baddest prison bitch I've ever actually seen, and they killed her off, which some might say was a mistake, but you had to wonder how, going into season 3 now, are they going to top V? Because V was the biggest, baddest. There was no one more scary than this woman. There was no one more scary than this woman, and now she's gone. And how do they fill the void? Piper has a scheme where she's selling used convict underwear. That's it. That's the big thing of season 3 of Orange is the New Black. But luckily for you and I, what saves this season, what makes the season, I don't want to say bearable because that really undersells it, but what makes the season good is the way that they've characterized the way that they characterize some of the characters that you didn't even know you wanted to know about. So for example, you see Caputo and you understand, having seen his backstory, you understand exactly why he is the way he is, the things that he's done. He has gone through things that he didn't even have to do. He did it out of what he thought was the kindness of his heart. And it kind of backfired. It's backfired on him every single time. And there's this plot within the series, within the season, where the prison is about to be closed down, and obviously no one is meant to know. Caputo finds out by accident, and he's told to keep it quiet. And essentially, and I found this really interesting. The prison guards are all hearing about it, and they're all very they're all bitching and moaning at Caputo. And then when he comes through and finds someone to buy the prison, or not someone, he finds a corporation to buy the prison, the guards are still giving Caputo shit about it, as if he's done nothing. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying, to the fact that he's always doing the right thing but looking for praise, and no one is really thanking him. Even when the corporation buys the prison, there's always that one old mean-looking prison guard who is with the fat white guy. She's always complaining about how it doesn't smell right, and it's just at what point does Caputo get any appreciation or acceptance? So that really helps you understand where he's coming from. Because at a certain point, he just stops trying. He just can't be bothered anymore, and it's just you understand that because he's had an entire life of trying to do the right thing, trying to be a good person, trying to be the bigger man, and it has always fucked him. So when he gets to this point, when he finally breaks, when he's just do you know what? Fuck it. you are right there with him. You're like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. And then the moral of the story is, don't be a good person. What? I'm taking it back to Caputo for a second. His I don't want to call it a romance. He's basically fucking what's her name again?
Red.
No, not Red. No, not Red.
Who?
Fig. Caputo and Fig.
Oh yeah, basically,
Yeah,
he is.
he is fucking okay. Somehow they have, I guess, their hate fucking. I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. No, I did. But like, it's interesting to see their dynamic. Alex, another character who just is so fucking boring. She's back for some reason. Her story is even more boring than Piper's. She actually no, tell a lie. Her story in this season is slightly more interesting because she's playing a sort of a game of cat and mouse of, is this woman trying to kill me? Is this person trying to kill me? And she's trying to figure out who it is. At a certain point, she starts suspecting Piper of trying to kill her. There is a character from season 2 who makes an appearance from the Chicago prison who makes an appearance in this season. I don't know the actress's name. I don't even know the character's name, but she was actually kind of funny and very entertaining to watch as well, and infinitely more interesting than Piper. I really like what they did with the black girls this season. And because obviously when V was around, the black girls were dominating the prison, and now that V is roadkill, there was obviously a huge void left by her V-shapedness. I don't know. I'm trying a thing here. It was interesting to see how each of them stepped up. Poussey, I feel like she had the least character development this season. Besides Watson. Watson, I think, doesn't really go anywhere. Watson is always Watson. Apart from that one time she didn't, like, she made friends with the hippie woman. Like, Watson doesn't really do much. She's just always there. Like, you know, Watson is like that person who always goes, yeah, after someone else makes a good point. She doesn't really do much of value to the show, which I think is a shame, because they did show like a little bit of her backstory, but not in a way that really went anywhere or made any difference. You know, it's like, whereas like Black Cindy has a really, I find a really incredible arc this season. You get to know her in ways that you didn't before. But beyond being this aggressive and loudmouth and ignorant person, you get to understand her as a person, as an individual. You get to understand where she came from. There's a whole arc with the with the food this season, especially when it goes bad. There's a whole arc, and that you would think was just like a nothing plot going nowhere, but they somehow use that to sort of makes Black Cindy's character more interesting. Poussey, again, I just feel like she kind of just went downhill in this season. For a second, it looked like she was going to have a relationship with one of the white girls, but it didn't go that way, thank God. I could be wrong. If you let me know in the comment section why you think I'm wrong, I'm genuinely interested to know. But like, I don't understand why she's in this place where she's like verging on alcoholism, and it's just like, I don't get it. Like, where is this coming from? She's lonely, and I understand loneliness, but like, I don't know loneliness to be so powerful that it turns you to drink and squirrel chasing. I really like what they've done with Suzanne's character this season. Crazy Eyes becomes a celebrity within the prison, I suppose. Like, she starts writing these erotic stories, and they're really wild and crazy, but like, besides maybe Tasty, everyone seems to love it. Like, it's a really interesting dynamic, whereas everyone's sort of weary of her normally, but now she's become like someone that is always like sought after. And it's only because she's writing these stories, it's not necessarily because people now like her, but it's really become a very different dynamic. And then you learn things about her through this storyline without having to flashback. I really did like how Tasty sort of took up the for lack of a better term, the mantle of the mom of the black women, because, you know, with V gone, you weren't really sure what was going to happen. I was certain that they would implode, but they didn't really implode, and I was wondering why. But then it clicked, like, oh, Tasty's more or less keeping everyone in check. And normally you would expect someone like Black Cindy to put up a fight, or especially Watson, like they would have issues with being told what to do. But when Tasty tells them what to do, she handles them in a way which is unique to Tasty, true to her character, but also very authoritative. And I thought that was really clever. That was really cool. That it was a great evolution of her character without having to devote too much time to her, which is unfortunate because I really like the way she's portrayed, and the characters is always enjoyable. But that was a minor complaint that she's underused. I guess within the scope of 13 episodes, everyone kind of had the shine that they deserve, which is unfortunate. I like Doggett this season. Like I've never particularly liked her. She's always been like a bitch to me. But like you come to understand where she's coming from. Like you see her from her flashbacks as a child to her adolescence, and then you see what she's been through, where she's come from, and it gives you a better understanding. And then some things happen to her this season which make you feel bad for her. They really do, because it's like, as crazy as she is, or she was, she's really not that crazy as it turns out, she's still a person. You really begin to appreciate that this season, and that was really cool. And I really like Boo this season. I think Boo, besides maybe Black Cindy, Boo had probably the most progression, I'd say, this season. I really enjoyed her story, second only to Black Cindy's. And you know that they show why she's so determined to be this butch stud, why she's so proud of it. They show you what she's had to fight through, and who she had to fight against, and it was very. I really like when stories show you why these people are damaged the way that they are. So let me talk about this Ruby Rose person.
What about the sexy white chick?
That's Ruby Rose. And as many people have pointed out to me, yes, Ruby Rose is in this season. She plays someone. She's actually really interesting. I like that she's very very smart, very self-aware, very inventive. And I liked what they did with her character, but like, I wasn't loving the whole her and the will they won't they-ness of her and Piper, because most things involving Piper are boring. So when eventually it unfolded, you figure out why she was getting so close to Piper, and I like that. In retrospect, it was really clever the way they built this up, and you weren't really sure whether she was just using Piper, whether she had genuine affection for her, when it basically turns out she stole all the Piper's money. And I think the one cool thing Piper did this season was when basically she set up Ruby Rose to take the fall for something. You know, she set her up basically, and she gets sent to Supermax like the day before she's released, and as a punishment for stealing, you know, all of her money. And you had this really, really, really cool moment with Piper where she looked like a badass, and then it just kind of got ruined, and she was like, spread the word, let people know. It's just like, this white bread woman is so boring. Like it genuinely hurts to watch her. I have nothing against the actress. She seems capable. I'm gonna watch her in a film probably tomorrow. But I just like the character of Piper just has nothing to offer. She is the least interesting character in the entire show. The Latina girls in the prison, every single one of them, whose story that they go into, it's a lot more engaging, it's a lot more entertaining than what Piper has to offer. Okay, so I have to mention this. This really bugged me, and I have to say I'm sorry. What happened? What the hell happened with Bennett this season? He starts out, and he starts out really well, and this is what bugs me. So like, the progression of Bennett from season 1 up until, I want to say, a certain point in season 3 has been steady. He's a good guy in a bad situation. He lost his leg, and he's trying to like fight. This is a really bad pun. Trying to stay on his foot, whatever. I'm sorry. But the point is, he's a good guy. Unlike Caputo, unlike Healy, he is an actual good person. He's just in a really bad situation because of things that I guess were out of his control. They were in his. He basically listened to his dick too much. But the point is, they give him this turn out of nowhere. Speaking of, I think Daya really made a lot of progress this season. just before the season ends, she has her baby, and she goes through a lot of growth, and I think especially her mother. Her mother, I think, also had a lot of good growth this season. So Orange is the New Black season 3, I thought was really entertaining. I hope you enjoyed my review. In the comments down below, please let me know what you thought of this season. Who was your favorite character? Which character arcs did you enjoy the most? I really want to talk about this. You can also hit me up on social media down below. I'm going to post my social media feeds all in the description. If not, they'll probably be on the screen somewhere. So yeah, hit me up. Let's talk. Bye.